on the response of the emergency services after the Manchester Arena bombing in May 2017 says at least one of the 22 people who were killed would probably have survived if help had arrived sooner. The report said communication between fire, police and ambulance services was virtually non-existent. 28-year-old care worker John Atkinson was 6 meters away from the explosion, which went off at the end of an Ariana Grande concert. His family said today he was totally failed at every stage. Judith Morris reports.
The Manchester Arena attack, where the public showed extraordinary courage, but the emergency services failed. Communication between police, fire and ambulance was non-existent. Some in command were overwhelmed, others didn't contribute at all, and the arena's private medical company was inadequate. The chairman of the Manchester Arena inquiry, Sir John Saunders, spent 6 months examining the emergency response. His verdict? It fell far below standard.
Some may think that to criticise individuals who were faced with an extremely difficult situation is harsh. But we rely on people in command positions to make the right decisions when faced with a complex emergency.
Emergency service failings led to loss of life. John Atkinson's leg injuries were survivable, but he wasn't treated by medics for nearly an hour or taken to hospital in time.
Today, the inquiry has answered our questions about John's death. It is now clear, beyond any doubt, that on the night of the bombing, John was totally failed at every stage, both by the private medical providers at the arena, ETUK, and the emergency services. It is crystal clear that due to those failings, John died from injuries that he could and should have survived.
The inquiry found it was highly unlikely that the youngest to die at the arena, 8-year-old Safi Rose Roussos, could have survived her injuries. But it says there's a remote possibility she might have survived with better care. Her parents, Andrew and Lisa Roussos, watched the inquiry from their home in Dorset.
Safi fought that night, but unfortunately, she was let down.
I believe in my heart that she would have survived and she'd been given correct medical attention.
The courage of individuals who went inside the foyer where the bomb exploded was praised. But time and again, the inquiry found fault with the blue light services.
On occasions like this, the word sorry has the risk of sounding hollow. Nevertheless, I want to make it clear that whilst our actions were well intentioned, we apologise wholeheartedly for our failures.
Our coordination of the response to this atrocity was poor. We had failed to plan effectively, and the execution of that which was planned was simply not good enough.
We let the families and the public down in their time of need, and for that I am truly sorry.
Of course, no prosecution or public inquiry can repair the pain caused that night or heal the loss felt by so many. But some of the families of those who died remembered here have told me there is value in this report if it leads to real change and prevents similar mistakes happening in future. Philip Tron couldn't have survived the injuries he suffered in the bombing. His mother and uncle feel the report's 149 recommendations are vital to prevent others suffering like they have.